Hey guys, what's going on? Flawless Crested Geckos here. Will, Audra.
Hi.
You a little late. So this video, guys, is gonna be all about food. Crested Gecko food. We currently utilize Repashy, Pangea, BP Zoological. Those are the three brands that we utilize. The number one thing, and this is just from our perspective and what we have going on in our facility, we're sure there are other reputable brands out there. We're actually wholesalers for these brands. The thing about it is we like all of them equally. I guess, what do you call it? Spoiler alert. You guys really want to know who the winner out of all three of them are? It's all the same. No, the foods are not the same, but you end up with the same results, guys. We utilize all three foods. We have no true pros and cons to any of them. I guess, honestly, the only pros and cons would be your budget.
Yeah.
We will speak on that. Where we are in South Carolina, typically, I guess 1, 2, and 3, even at wholesale rate, the number one most expensive, even buying in bulk, is gonna be BP Zoological. That's the number one expensive, most expensive.
The thing about BP Zoological is we really like the content factors of BP Zoological. The thing about that is that it is more expensive to a certain degree, and also doesn't have really flavoring.
Right, it's just one. It's just one.
Yeah.
Which, because we use the original. We have not tried the Color Boost and other thing, the melatonin brand that they have. We haven't tried those, so we can't speak on those. We can only speak about the value of BP Zoological Original.
And we find it to be a great base.
Absolutely.
Of your food.
So. It sucks because we're going to sit here throughout this video and tell you they're all great.
Hey guys, Flawless Crested Geckos here. Will, Audra, and we're here to tell you about our Patreon.
Yes, going through tough times, you got to know that Flawless is always going to have your back. If you go over to patreon.com/flawlesscrestedgeckos, you'll see all the perks and benefits it is there for you to come and support us on our Patreon. $50 a month turns around and goes right back into your Flawless Crested Gecko savings account for you to use towards your next purchase.
Any purchase. We also give awesome benefits such as 5% off the top of the price of the gecko. We give free merchandise, t-shirts, we have stainless steel tables, tools, all kinds of goodies. We also give free shipping to our members all year round, no blackout dates. And, we give awesome tips, or we think we do anyway.
That's right. So go over to patreon.com/flawlesscrestedgeckos
and join our family.
They're all great. We're not going to say one is better than the other, but as far as price points for us, value for value, or volume for volume, I'll say BP Zoological is going to be the most expensive. And where we are in South Carolina, you have, Pangea and Repashy. Number 2 most expensive for us is going to be Repashy.
And that is simply because shipping is ridiculously expensive to get it here to us.
So essentially what you end up dealing with, so that leaves Pangea obviously as third as being the best cost effective. But what you end up working with is per container, you get more food per container with Repashy than you actually do with Pangea, even buying the large bags. But then you pay almost double or close to triple in shipping of Repashy than you do with Pangea. Which makes Pangea a lot less. But
it makes it a lot more cost effective.
Right, a lot more cost effective. Then you break it down into flavors, which is everyone's argument. Everybody go down below. We would love to hear your experiences with flavors. We've had these conversations several times, over and over, and we can only tell you what works for us, and we're not telling you that we are the end all be all by any means, but we will express or inform you of our experience. And in our experience, all the flavors are great. We order all the flavors and they eat it. I mean, it doesn't really matter what it is. We have found that across the board, the number one, I think you would agree that the number one thing across the board, across all brands that we're using, is going to be food consistency. That would
in your
affect
texture.
That the texture and consistency.
The consistency of the texture.
Making it, the consistency of ketchup.
Yes.
If it's the consistency of barbecue sauce, which is a tad bit thicker, it will affect their food response. And if it's watered down, it can affect their food response. But this is the thing. If it's watered down and they're still eating the same amount as a normal serving, they're still not going to get
the amount of nutrients
from the food,
because it does water the whole thing down.
It waters it down, so it waters down the nutrient base that you're supplying your geckos. And like I said, we'll touch briefly because we've said this so many times on videos. We understand that some people love certain flavors or certain brands, and that's fine. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and this is just our opinion.
Disclaimer.
Yeah, because
everyone has opinions,
and everything works as long as it's working for you. Keep firing away at it. But we believe that with the personal flavors, that they don't eat one more than the other. We think it's more of a situation of when they're hungry and when they're not. All of us are raising these reptiles in captivity.
Yeah.
So whether you feed every other day, like we used to, or you feed every day like we used to. But now we feed twice a week, and we also offer dusted bugs and everything. Who's to say they don't down all their food on that Monday, and Thursday when it's time to eat again, they're just not hungry.
Exactly.
So imagine you eating your favorite meal.
He has his analogy about pizza.
Yeah.
So go ahead, tell the story.
Pizza. Now you put me on the spot. Now I can't really think of it.
You want me to tell him?
Yeah, you tell him.
Okay, so I'll tell him. I've heard him tell the story like a gazillion times, so I should get it right.
Pressure.
The pressure is on. So basically, he explains it like this: if your favorite food is pizza, and you eat it on Monday night, and you chow down on that pizza, you eat it all up. You're just so excited because you got your favorite food, pizza. Then the next day, somebody brings by another pizza, and you're like, well, I just had pizza yesterday, but I'm gonna go ahead and eat it because I love pizza. Okay, so you eat a couple of slices and you're full. Okay, you don't eat the whole thing that next time. Then Wednesday comes around and you're hungry, but somebody brings by another full pizza again, and even though it's your favorite food, by that point you're sick of it.
I'm like, I'm done with this.
I'm done with pizza. Yeah. I'm done with pizza.
I'll wait till next week.
Yeah, exactly. Let me chill on that pizza for a little bit. So with that, with that mentality, we kind of put it towards our animals and how they eat and how they respond to food and such. And we figured out that if you mix all the flavors, they never get used to any one particular flavor, so they're just eating consistently all the time.
So we may offer, watermelon Pangea, or we may offer mulberry, Repashy, or whatever flavors. We may offer it randomly. We don't even have it on a set schedule. And sometimes we make blenders, plural, full of gecko diet. So sometimes you'll have, a quarter of a cup. You refrigerate it, and then
it may be watermelon.
And then we may add mulberry or papaya or whatever, and now they have a mixture, and we may use all of that, that feeding, and then start fresh the next feeding. So basically, we're mixing some flavors at times, and at times they're getting fully one flavor at times. What we're trying to say is we believe that a lot of people push their human emotions, their smells. Oh, I love the smell of watermelon. Let's feed watermelon. Some of us are tasting it. I think Tiki's and them actually did a taste test. More power to them. Not doing it.
I don't think I want to taste.
But I think we push our human emotions on our geckos. Even when it boils down, which is a whole nother video. Maybe comment down below if you'll like to see a video talking about, do your gecko like you? We would love to do a video on that. So we'll tell you our opinion on that video and not on this one.
Yeah.
But hopefully this has been a little bit of an insightful video for you guys, and just kind of giving you, you know, what we've experienced thus far, and not saying that these are the bylaws of Crested Geckos. It's just an experience. That's it.
Yep.
So it's Will, Audra, Flawless Crested Geckos. We out.